So I'm starting with my front part, my back part, my shield, my fly, and my zipper. So that's my waistband, and I've added some gum stay to it. So starting with the front part, I'm going to attach my fly zipper to the front part. To do that, I measured where my zip will start and where it will stop. I just measured from the zip grip to the zip grip, and that is 7.5 inches. So on my trouser, on the front part of my trouser, I first of all marked 1/2 inch, and this allowance is to pick my band and also sew my zip to the band, but later I divided it to half of 1/2 inch. Then from that point I marked 7.5 inch. So at the time I filmed this video, I did it at 1/2 inch, but then later on I adjusted it to half of an inch. So have that at the back of your mind. So from that point down to where my zip opening is going to stop, I'll make loose stitches. Then from that point downwards, I'll make tight stitches, and this is because I'm still going to loosen from top to that point, but I'm not going to loosen downwards, so I'm going to make tight stitches there. Understand? So I've already taken it over to my sewing machine. I've joined it. I'm just opening up the seam with my pressing iron. I'm giving it a really good press, and this is very important when you're sewing your outfit. Remember, I talked about the importance of ironing when you're sewing. If you've not seen that video, I will leave a link to that video in the description box. So I gave it a really good press, and when I was done, it was time to open up where the zip would stay. So I used my work razor blade. This is the Tiger brand. You can use whatever brand you want. So I opened it up to that point that the opening is supposed to stop. So to sew the fly zip, we're first of all going to start with attaching the zipper shield. So this is my fly. This is supposed to be, it's not supposed to be double. I made a mistake. So for yours, you're not supposed to fold into two. This is my shield. It's the shield that's supposed to be folded into two. So take note and make the correction when you're making yours. Then this is my zipper. So to attach the shield and the zipper, here's what I did. I placed my zip on the trouser like so, and my shield, and I'm going to join them both at that point, and I'm going to flip it like so. Understand? Let's do it again. So I placed my zipper like so, and the shield was on top of it, and I'm going to join on that point. So I took it over to my sewing machine and ran stitches just like I explained. So this is what it looks like, or it looks like. You can see how the sewing made the shield stand. So when I was done with that, now to turn over the other seam line inward. So this just acted like a facing. All I did here was I pinned the zip fly to the other side of the trouser, to the second piece of the front trouser, and I just sewed along that axis. So I just used my office pin I'm going to sew like so on that part. That's where I'm going to join. I'm going to join the two together. So I took it over to my sewing machine, and I joined it together. And when I was done with that, I top stitched on the zip fly, not on the fabric, not on the trouser piece. No, I top stitched on the fly piece. Understand? When I was done with that, I pushed it backwards, and the trick here is you'd attach the second side of the zipper to the zip fly, not to the main fabric. Like you won't sew the fabric and the zip together. No, you attach it to the fly. And when you want to do this, you make sure the fly laps over the zipper and the shield just a little bit, just a very tiny little bit, to make sure that the zipper is not peeping out. Understand? So I brought it down to the table so you'd see what exactly I'm talking about. So this is how you should lap it on the zip. You want to make sure it's not showing, but you're lapping it just a little bit, just a very little bit. I'm going to sew it to the fly. So I took it back to my sewing machine and I joined the zip to the fly. When I was done with that, I top stitched the fly. I followed the outline created by the fly and gave it a curved stitch. Like around the bottom it was curved, but as it headed upwards it was a straight stitch. You guys know the shape you normally give when it comes to your trouser zipper, but this was what I was trying to sew here. Now when you're top stitching the fly, you make sure that you don't sew the shield and the fly together. When I'm done sewing, I'll show you what I mean. So this is what it looks like when I was done sewing. Like I said, when you're top stitching, you make sure you don't top stitch the shield and the fly together. If not, you have a locked zipper, you won't be able to access your zip chambers. So I did this on different lights because I felt you weren't seeing it properly. So this is the back. So around where the zip opening is going to stop, you top stitch the fly and the shield together. But as you progress forward, you make sure you shift the shield away and you sew just the fly. Understand? Hope I'm making sense. So now to the back part. Now for the back part, I'm going to join both sides of the back on 1/2 inch seam allowance. So when I was done with that, I brought it back to my ironing table and I ironed it. I opened up the seam, gave it a really good press. When I was done with this, from my stitch point I extended my tape backwards and marked 4 inches for my dart placement. Then I notched that point. From that point, I extended my tape downwards and I marked 4.5 inches for the length of my dart. I did same thing for the other side. When I was done, I took it over to my sewing machine and I picked my dart. Now I did this for both sides. When I was done picking my dart, I took it back to my ironing table and I gave it a really good press to make sure the dart is well laid, relaxed, and it's not puffy. So now to join the two sides together, here's my back piece. All I did here was I laid my front part on it, starting with the crotch curve point. I secured that point with with an office pin. When I was done with that, I proceeded to joining the other parts together and securing them with an office pin. You want to make sure it is equal on both sides, so your trouser won't be long on one side and short on the other side. That's the reason for securing with office pins. So I'm going to join the inseam like so. Moving over to my sewing machine, I didn't join leg to leg. I started from the center of the trouser and sewed downwards to one part of the leg, and when I was done, I started from the center again and moved downwards to the second leg. I always do this because sometimes I notice that if I sew leg to leg, that's from end to end, I end up having like excess, like the trouser is long on one side and it's short on the other side. So I just do from center to center, and this helps to curb irregular length across both trousers. So like I explained, this is what I did. From center I sewed downwards, and I did this for both parts, like as you can see. So I've already sewn the inseam, and I've gone ahead to mark my measurement out. So I'm just going to sew both sides and then join my band to the waist. Let me go over that again. I have already sewn the center, the inseam, and I've marked out my measurements. So I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine and join my sides and attach my band to the waist. So this is me joining the side, and I know for the trouser you'll be like, oh Ada, it was not equal, so how did you sew it? Just the back of course is not equal, so just make sure the back and the front laps together. That excess, push it inside. By the time you are sewing and you wear it, it will measure up because of your butt. So just push it inside, make sure the seam laps together, and you mark and you sew. So that's how I did it. So when I was done joining the sides, now to attach the band to the waistline. So I attached the band. What I did here is I folded 1 inch over the waist like so, and I'm going to start sewing on top that zip grid, not below but on top. So I did a back stitch to make sure my stitches are secured, and I pulled it over. Also, when I got to the other end, I folded just the way I folded in front, and I folded into 2 again and top stitch. Like, this is the easiest way to attach a band. There are other ways, but this is what I felt like doing in this tutorial. So I folded it into 2, folded the band into 2, gave it a good press, then I top stitched. Now when you're top stitching, you want to make sure your top stitch is straight and neat, because this is a trouser. You might want to tuck it in sometime, and if your top stitch is rather clumsy, it will not look nice. So make sure your stitches are straight and they look good. So when I got to the end, I did a back stitch and I was done with the waistband. Then I went ahead to sew the hem of the trouser. So for the hem of my trouser, I folded 1/2 inch seam. I did this on 1/2 inch seam fold, and I just folded and sewed on top. So if you've watched up to this point, why not give this video a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel if you've not subscribed, and hit the notification bell so that whenever I post a video you will get notified. Please subscribe, it means a lot to me. So I went ahead to continue sewing the fold, and at this point, ladies and gentlemen, my trouser was ready. Like, it was really ready. You see the outcome right now. So this is how it looks. I love how fluttering it is on my body. Is it fluttering? Fluttering. Anyone, choose one. Thanks for watching.